There's been a lot of interest on a Symbaloo web mix that I created recently. The one that you can see right now is a combination of Padlets and Google Docs. Each square is an individual Padlet, and each square with a picture in it is an individual Google Doc. The origami swan, those are Padlets. What I did with them is that I decided that I wanted to have a more efficient way of working with the children when they were writing. So I created basically a digital journal. On one of these swan ones here, if I click on it, it'll bring me to a digital journal where the kids can enter in their work. And rather than spend time on editing and recopying and squeezing words in, they actually can have a live document that they can copy and paste. So what I have them do is they enter their daily journals here. I can enter a note to them about a journal entry at this point. On the Google Doc, what they would do is they would click on their editing portion. They take a few stories out of the journal that they liked, place it in a Google Doc, and once it's in a Google Doc, there can be an additional element of editing because I set them up to where the class can actually edit and do peer edits in this way. For Google Docs, if you're not familiar with it, you can comment on things. Like if you wanted to comment on, let me give it a sentence here. I'm just going to highlight random words. If you wanted to make a comment about these words here, misspelling, or a better way to say that, you can just simply highlight it, click on comments, the comment button here to add a comment, and then you can type in your own comment right here. As you can see, other children have already done that. When the Google comes live, these are actually going to have their names in them, but for now they are able to put that in. Normally the children put their name after their comment at this point, but if I click on the comment, it brings me right to the part that they're speaking about. I can go through the different comments that have been highlighted so far. So that is the Symbaloo that I created using those two elements of Padlet and Google. And the way I have these set up now is that anybody in the class can go into anybody else's Padlet, and they can add a note if they want. But we set up a strict culture and set up rules and expectations about people going in and doing that other work. And I have not had a problem with anybody going into anybody else's work. They all take their own pride in that. As far as editing with the Google Docs, I haven't had anybody do anything inappropriate. They're more interested in highlighting words and making comments about their peers' work, and they're more interested in interacting with them. Recently I bumped it up a level, and because this is a Symbaloo, if I go here to share it, I click on my share button, I can get the website specifically to my web mix. So I clicked on it, and I can highlight this and copy and paste that into an email. I can copy and paste it anywhere I want to send the information. So what I did for this particular case was that I would copy and pasted it, and I want the parents to interact with their kids about their writing daily. A lot of times when we have a writing notebook, it stays in their desk and they add to it like a journal, and we don't want them to take it home because it doesn't come back and then they don't have their journal. But now it doesn't matter where the children are, whether they're homesick or needing to work on writing, or their parents are curious as to what they are writing. They can click on their journal and they can work with their children. I want the parents to work with their children at home. I don't mind that they're edited. When it comes to getting an assessment, I can have them type in something before the parents were to get it at home, or I can have them do a handwritten piece. But overall, this is the best way for them to go home. Hey mom, I wrote the story about, and it's like, oh, let's see it. Another thing I like about it is that the parents, I have found, use their phones for everything. So if I communicate via phone, they're going to get this information. In Class Dojo, there's a new feature this time around called Class Story, and basically I can post any type of posts I want. When it came to the writing, what I did was I would post, have you checked your child's writing, putting the link in there, check and see what their weaknesses or their strengths are. The part that I bumped up recently is that I sent home a writing prompt. I said, your children will be online at 9 o'clock this morning, and they will be writing this story. So join us. And I told the parents that they too could also click into their child's journal and just head their title Mom. I had about 8 parents that did that from various places of work, home, and even on the road, because they can access this from their phone. So they were typing in and keying in a story to the same prompt as their child was. And the children were so excited, and so many of them stepped up their writing. To me, I'd rather have them spend time on their writing as opposed to spending time on copying something over. I find that there's a greater value in learning experience from that. And because they're so engaged and excited about it, and they really prefer it, they do a lot better on it. I can even put directions in for parents in my class story. A lot of what I do creates links as well so that they can go directly to something. So that's how I use it. I've enjoyed it. It's worked really well, and I feel that this Symbaloo has served its purpose, and I look forward to creating another Google Doc where it can be like a final copy that the kids can drop in work for me to edit after they go through their own editing, the peer editing, and then I can get a final draft of something. Hope you enjoy it and it inspires you to maybe do that.